Hey everybody, I'm Johnny Kazemka with Harvey Goodman Realtor. This is the Ohio Valley Real Estate Report, and with me today I have Shawn and Lyndsay Maynard, also from Harvey Goodman Realtor. So welcome to the podcast.
Hi Johnny, thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so we are talking about the market conditions and some of the adverse effects that we've been experiencing, I guess, through this whole economic crisis, this mess, recession, whatever you want to say. But the feds have recently raised the rates again as of this week. To, what was it, 0.75%. So dealing with some of the conditions, I guess, I've not necessarily seen a slowdown in my business, but I know others kind of have. So what have you seen in your own dealings as far as the market and the changes?
Yeah, I mean, interest rates have gone up. I think they're about 6% right now. And as far as that's concerned, buyers are getting a little weary and whatnot, but they're still out in the market. They're still buying. People need to move. We've seen a little bit of an increase of listings and whatnot. And so I think the market's still pretty strong, though, in terms of heading out towards the end of the year.
Yeah, and especially as we enter into the final quarter of the year, I've always seemed to like a seasonal lull, so to speak. It's like usually the peak season, tax time, everyone gets their tax return, wants to use it for a large scale purchase, vehicle, car, or house, that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I am starting to see a little bit of a trend where I'm not getting as many calls as I used to. I don't know if that's related directly to the season, to the interest rates, but it's still historically low in my opinion. I don't expect our area to really decrease as everyone keeps fearing it's going to.
Right.
We live in an area that I've always said is somewhat immune to the effects of these economical factors, recession or anything. This is not to speak bad about our area, but this is sort of, we've been down here. Come, the rest of the country, come join us. This is, welcome back. So,
We didn't see 40% increases, so not expecting 40% decreases.
Exactly. So if nothing else, I see it maybe stabilizing and flatlining with pricing for a little bit, but I certainly expect it to continue to rise.
Right.
So you, Shawn, you're doing. I think this is your first closing coming up here shortly, and you're welcome to the business, by the way. So trial by fire here. Absolutely. And you have some really large footsteps to follow with Lyndsay. I mean, just within her first year, just came out as a trailblazer and just blew everybody out of the water. So good. So what's your experience like with as a team?
It's definitely been pretty good, I think. It's easy to ask her a question anytime I need one rather than calling my broker and getting in his hair and everything like that. And I've pretty much got a trainer right there next to me, so I've picked up pretty quick. But other than that, I've liked it. Getting ready to get my Ohio real estate license here soon. Yeah,
so we were just talking about that prior to turning the camera on. It says how much of a necessity that is to service both sides of the road. So you guys both do Ohio and West Virginia. So you're full term, full time, high octane, go getting. Yeah.
And Shawn likes to run around with the buyers a bit more. He's kind of into the new listings that are coming up on the market, and he's been really working that side in West Virginia with the buyers. So happy to bring him over into Ohio so that he can work with buyers here as well. So
what do you tell buyers that are like, I don't know, looking, what do you see as far as West Virginia side of the river versus Ohio? Because I seemingly do more on the Ohio side. I don't know if that's just geographically restricted or something of that design, where we were talking earlier, you can only go north and south because of we're 20 miles wide before we hit Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And the Ohio side, it's just more of a broader region. So what do you see with your dual license?
The same. I have a wider jurisdiction on the Ohio side, a bit smaller on the West Virginia side because you can only go so far east. And I think my sphere of influence was just larger in Ohio. He opted to get his West Virginia license because he has a bit larger sphere of
influence there
in West Virginia
so combine
as well, in comparison to myself. So
yeah, power team.
Yes.
I've always said when two people agree, one of them's not needed. So that's that different. It's to celebrate the difference. So yeah. So describe to me your experience with your transaction over in West Virginia, because it is. When I got into this career, I thought, man, this is going to be easy. This is, I see other people do it and they make it look effortless. And it's really, I tell my clients, when I do my job well, you won't even know that I've done anything at all.
Right.
And I had so much more hair. So, hopefully you get to keep yours. That's why I'm wearing a hat today. Before I started real estate, it was like down to my shoulders. Now it's gone. That's how stressful this business can be. So what was your experience?
It definitely, there's been some deals that's been really stressful, some that's been smooth as can be, and you know, just back and forth from getting everything that they need or talking to the other agents and what we can make work.
Yeah, I think the general public misses a lot of what we actually do. South Park took a huge jab at us, and one thing I could say about those guys is they're relentless. They'll go after anybody for any reason. They don't care. But they basically likened us to opening doors and collecting checks. And I hate to say that if that's a public opinion, because if it's not funny, the show misses the mark and no one watches it and it's off. So I feel like people don't necessarily understand what we do.
Yeah.
My job is not in sales. Your job is not in sales. I've never sold a house in my entire career. I've consulted with people and took their decisions and turned them into paths that they can make those decisions a reality.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, I'll talk to anybody. I don't care if you have a 500 credit score. I'll work with anybody to get you to where you need to be. Sometimes people come to me with a big bag of money and want to buy a house. Mm-hmm. Anybody can do that. All right, okay, let's just put this together. Let's make an offer. How am I going to get someone USDA finance with a 600 credit score trying to buy, an inflated market with interest rates on the rise? That's my time to shine, right?
Yeah.
So everyone that, if you're going to jump into this boat, you're thinking of buying and selling, consultation is always free. You can call myself, call you. I know, like I said, I when I'm busy, if I have to send clients, I trust implicitly everything. I know they're in good hands when I send them your way. So,
Yeah.
But so any other new listings or hot topics that you can think of?
We've got a couple new listings coming in the next couple of weeks, around the $100,000 to $200,000 range.
Mm-hmm.
That's about all the excitement this time of year.
Yeah, it's if you look at it we track everything that we do from a listing income or incoming listing report, from number of closing sides, and it's always like for our team, for me and Scott, it's like 1 to 2 listings a week through the first quarter of the year, through like the first maybe 10 weeks. And then it jumps. It booms at week 13. Mm-hmm. For whatever reason, it just spikes to like 6 to 7 listings.
Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, well, no, it's April 13th is usually somewhere right around in that same vicinity. Then it kind of goes up and down, but stays relatively stable. And then it hits like Labor Day and drops and comes right back at like the very beginning of October and drops again.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, other than it might be the back to school season or...
Yeah, I think back to school, those couple weeks, you can even kind of tell because... the difference of Ohio, West Virginia, if they start school differently, phone tends to go quiet. People are busy back to school week, even just, in the community and stuff.
Yeah, and I've never had a logical reason for it. It's the equivalent of having a foot of snow on the ground. That's the direct impact that this last week. So everyone always, kind of runs around with their hair on fire, like, oh my God, the phone's not ringing. What am I going to do? And then, next week it's, okay, life's back to normal. Yeah. So. I just put one out in Yorkville, a couple of other listings. So if you're looking to buy, sell, it might be a little bit of a slower pace, but we fully anticipate it to continue ramping back up again.
Absolutely.
Should still be a good market. It's interest rates, they were just at around 9%, 2008, 2009. So still pretty fair at 6%.
I do feel that homes that are over the 200 mark are starting to level out with buying and multiple offers and stuff like that. But recently I've, in the past couple of weeks, I've been in multiple bid offers under 200,000. I mean, it's, they've been on the market for a day, maybe 2 days, and they're still flying off the market.
Yeah, and that's a good point. It's a matter of competition, so to speak. So the median level of income for the Ohio Valley probably sets a buyer average at between 100 to 150,000, somewhere in that vicinity. When you hit 200,000, 250 plus, you're probably dealing with someone upsizing, second-time buyer that's not buying maybe out of pure necessity. So a renter trying to escape the rental market, or someone else maybe through loss of life, through divorce, some situation that thrusts them into a necessity type of buying. You are now competing in this pool, the public swimming pool, so to speak, of everybody jumping in at the same time. When you exclude yourself from that, maybe 250, 300,000, plus higher interest rates, obviously that side of real estate is going to take a little bit more of a hit because it's more exclusive. You don't have to buy.
Yeah.
And if you've done well to be able to afford in that type of price range, you're probably savvy with money.
Yeah.
So that you're right on the money there. That's exactly what I'm seeing with my own business as well. So, but all right. Well, anything else? Do you think you want to dispense any words of wisdom or?
Got anything else? Renee?
We got
Yep.
nothing.
Well, thanks for coming to the podcast. We'll do this again soon.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Appreciate
absolutely.
it.
hey, thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.